Welcome to the Darkstream, Vox Day, voxday.net, and unauthorized.tv. I'm trying to see if I can get the live chat going here. There we go. And that should be good. And we got the unauthorized chat going as well. So hopefully audio and video are good. Audio and video are good. We have confirmation from Ironic Keyboard. Thank you. And so tonight I've got, I think, something you're going to enjoy quite a bit. It's been a big week, and hopefully it's going to just keep getting bigger because we've actually got 2 of the 3 new machines working in some capacity. We haven't started producing anything with them yet. We're going to do that on Friday. One of the machines actually turned out had a broken part, so hopefully we're going to get that fixed tomorrow and get it installed, get that one going next week. So so we're making great progress on the bindery. As you're aware, Pride and Prejudice is shipping, and we're Midnight's War is shipping. Alt Hero Q is going to start shipping next week, so it's all good. But if you haven't been following the blog for a while, long before the Darkstream even existed, long before we were even doing it on Periscope, The Guardian, which is the most left-wing newspaper, most left-wing mainstream newspaper in the UK, was running hit pieces on me. It was mostly to do with, it started with John Scalzi, and then they were doing them after the Rabid Puppies thing and so forth. Now it's pretty amusing because we were just talking last week about how Sigma Male has become a viral meme. It's become a concept introducing the SSH to a lot of people. And of course, it was just a matter of time before that kind of attention drew the media's attention. And of course, the media does what it always attempts to do, which is to denigrate and discredit anyone who is putting useful ideas before people that they don't want people to have. If the mods want to put that link up, put it up, and you can put it in the chat. Actually, I can probably find it here myself. Somebody sent it to me via email because, believe me, I do not read The Guardian. Let's see here. Okay, there it is. So it's the sad and stupid rise of the Sigma male, how toxic masculinity took over social media. Thanks, Ironic Keyboard's already done that. I'll pop it in the D Live chat there. So anyhow, you can read it, check it out. We'll probably be discussing it on Sigma Game and on Social Galactic tomorrow at some point. It's got all the usual. It's got all the usual bits. Racist, misogynistic, blah 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 blah. They never cease to try to hit that. The only thing that was a little surprising, given that it's June, I'm a little surprised they didn't try to hit homophobic, because of course it's all about just trying to discredit you. What's interesting to me is that apparently they referred to me being a proud Christian nationalist, which actually is one of the more accurate things that they've ever said. I mean, I don't know about proud Christian nationalist. I mean, overt, unashamed. It's just funny. But the thing that's so amusing about this piece, and I'm not going to go into details, you can read it yourself, but it's all about trying to make the concept of the Sigma look sad and stupid and cringe, and everybody's laughing and all this sort of thing. It absolutely 100% reminded me of this this little clip, and I think you'll agree. I think you'll see why. Oh, apparently there was no sound, so we'll replay that one.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Howard.
The other astronauts are being mean to me.
Why don't you stand up to them?
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. Say, being mean is lame. What's cool is being nice.
You know, I mean, that's essentially what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, being a Sigma is cringe. What's cool is being nice. It's just, you know, and of course, you know, it's written by an obvious gamma. I mean, you know, gammas automatically hate everything about the SSH. They don't even have to learn about, you know, the negative perspective on the gamma. They don't even need to recognize that they are gammas, and they just immediately hate and fear it because, of course, one of the most useful aspects of the SSH is because it gives you the ability to anticipate and predict male behavior. And of course, if you can when you can anticipate and predict a gamma's behavior, you're generally going to cut him out of your project, your organization, your social circle, because you know what he's going to do. You know the negative behavior that's almost certainly going to happen sooner or later as a result of the gamma. So anyhow, you know, this is just a predictable piece. There's going to be more, you know, eventually there's going to be television news shows trying to explain that there's no scientific basis for it. You know, there's no science. Well, why would there be any science? You don't need science to observe what people do. You don't, you know, the ironic thing is that the SSH is actually considerably more scientific, more scientifically legitimate than most of the stuff that they try to pass off as science, like, you know, the fake vaccines and all the nonsense related to the COVID and so forth. But, you know, the idea that some dorks in the media are going to tell everybody what's cool and what's cringe is just bizarre, you know. The Cactus Eater Bear's right. The SSH is settled. Servant says, a young guy I work with said, I'm a Sigma male. I thought to myself, if you have to tell me, you're not a Sigma male. No, as a general rule, if you're a Sigma, people who are unfamiliar with the SSH think you're an alpha. Or they can't figure you out. They're like, I can't place this person. But, you know, it's typical that people will attempt to label themselves something positive, because that's what they did when it was just, alphas and betas. I'm sure they've done that with, every possible thing that you can think of, back when, in the 60s London, and it was about teddies and whatever else it was. I'm sure people who had absolutely no reasonable claim to the title were attempting to pass themselves off as it, because of course it's all about status. Now, status is not the main point of the SSH. It's not the main utility of it. But because there's a status aspect to it, you're always going to have people attempting to present themselves as something that they're not. It's the same as stolen valor. There's probably 10 fake Navy SEALs running around telling people about, the crazy stuff that they saw in Afghanistan in bars, trying to impress other men, trying to impress women, trying to make everybody think that there's something that they're not. And maybe it's a temptation for you. And there's certainly an amount of room for drama and that sort of thing. I was talking with a friend the other day, and we saw a pair of tennis shoes, which he posited were the most embarrassing tennis shoes you could possibly wear in the world. And they were literally little brand tennis shoes, just regular canvas shoes with the little logo on the side. And we were talking about how awful it would be to go to school wearing those shoes, and all kinds of people just how you'd be painting a target on your feet for every bully in the school. There's no way that you're not going to get bullied if you're wearing these little shoes. And I said, well, actually, that's not necessarily true. I said, it's absolutely true. If you send some young boy to school wearing these little brand shoes, everyone's going to make fun of him for being poor and lame and all this sort of thing, right? But I pointed out that it's all about context. It's all about presenting things in a way that people perceive you in a higher status position. Like, for example, I said, look, you could wear those out to a really cool nightclub in a big city, and everyone would notice them. Everyone would go, what are you, what is that guy wearing these little sneakers, And my friend said, well, how on earth would you use that? I said, I would just tell everyone that I was a skateboarder and little was my sponsor. Or some other random X Games type sport that nobody actually knows anybody anybody who actually competes in that sort of thing. And I guarantee you that you could use it to pick up girls that way. Because little might be lame when it comes to shopping in a low-end grocery store and getting your clothes there. But it's a big international corporation, and they sponsor stuff, Red Bull, if you're a Red Bull sponsored paraglider or ski jumper, that's a very, very high status thing, And what's Red Bull? Red Bull's, an energy drink. So the point is that people can and will present themselves in a way that gives them more status if they can. And there's nothing wrong with, I mean, in the case of the little sneakers, that's just funny, you know. But when you're running around trying to tell people something that you're observably not, that's where it gets pretty lame. That's where it gets pretty ridiculous. And that's also the thing that the critics of the Sigma don't fundamentally understand, is that it's not about claiming to be something. It's more about having to name something that is not something that people erroneously believe, you know. The difference between an alpha, a sigma, and a bravo are incredibly clear. It's very, very easy to tell the difference between them if you fully understand the concepts. And it's also very easy to anticipate and understand the varying behaviors if you understand the different behavioral profiles, behavioral patterns. But, you know, if your idea of all these things is formed by watching YouTube videos and seeing memes on Twitter, yes, obviously you're going to end up with a very erroneous and less than terribly useful concept or idea of the concepts. Anyhow, I've got something, I thought this was appropriate. I actually put the whole thing up on the blog about half an hour ago. One of the things that they said in the Guardian piece, as I mentioned, was that I am a Christian nationalist, and that is true. And so, as a good Christian nationalist, I happen to write a song and used the Suno AI system to turn it into music and so forth. And so I hope you enjoy what's called Seas of Blood. And go ahead and this one's, I think, it's got a very Sabaton vibe to it. So if you like Sabaton, I think you're going to enjoy this one. Rachel's the only one, I think. Rachel and Yordamon are the only two who would have heard this yet. So I think that they'll confirm that it's pretty good. Anyhow, it's hard to understand the lyrics sometimes, so I've got them here so we can pop them up. And 10 points if you can tell me what historical battle this particular song refers to. So this is, as I mentioned, Seas of Blood.
sailors bled, the seas flow red, seas of blood, seas of blood, and the seas flow red, amidst the countless drowning dead. The sailors bled, the seas flow red, seas of blood, seas of blood, seas of blood.
Yep, so those who guessed Lepanto were correct. It's all about the Battle of Lepanto. Big ocean battle. The Ottomans had been controlling the seas, and the Holy League banded together and, among other things, avenged the murder of some Venetians who had been, I'm not sure if they'd been captured or if they'd gone to discuss a potential peace treaty. Anyhow, the Pasha actually flayed them to death and then mounted their bodies on his flagship. So that was the reference to the Venetians being avenged and so forth. West by God Bear says, great song. Silent Draco points out it is the origin of the feast of Our Lady of Victory, which is correct. That's why there's that line about the heroes praise the Virgin for their victory at sea. I'm still, when we record an actual version of that, there's going to be some changes and tweaks. You know, the AI systems don't give you a great deal of control yet. So, like for example, on that final chorus breakdown, the drums should continue. There's like one drum hit, and then it just breaks down entirely with no drums, and then it takes too long to come back in. It should be kicking back in at the Seas of Blood part. But anyhow, the technology is amazing. It's such a blast to be able to utilize, and it really gives you such a fantastic base to turn it into something else. I don't know, Rachel, have you gotten anything from John yet on the one you're working on? John's already sent me the instrumental stuff. I'm hopefully going to get my voice back and be able to record some vocals for it. But we're actually using it. Booster Patrol is already using it to provide the basis for actual live stuff. Cactus Eater Bear says not he's close. Do you want me to play it? Do you want to let people hear it? I mean the AI version, obviously, so they have something to compare it to when you guys are ready. So, but it's okay. We'll play the one that Rachel's going to sing next. It's some of you will have heard it before. It's called Ride and Die. But to get back to Seas of Blood, one of our guitarists really likes Sabaton, and so I actually wrote that song for him, and it'll be interesting to see how he transitions that into real guitars, real drums, because one thing that you really can, they fake a lot of it. There's a lot of effects on stuff, or really the pseudo sound of effects, because the whole thing is not really making music the way that you make music with instruments. But so sometimes there's a nice overall effect that can be difficult to recreate, but there's no substitute for the real guitars. It just sounds so much bigger and louder with the real stuff. Servant says This variety show has it all. Yeah. Yeah, and Marie's going to come out and do a skit. But, you know, the thing is that we have if you think about it, the reason that I'm getting attacked, you know, for the last 11 years by The Guardian is because they want to control the cultural space. And the way that we can resist that is to engage in our own cultural creations. You know, I would put that Seas of Blood song up against more than half of the stuff that's being, you know, professionally recorded and being released and forced down our throats. You know, because a lot of the stuff that they're doing, it's both culturally poisonous and it's just bad. It's terrible. You know, how many songs have you heard in the last 5 years, new songs, that are any good? You know, and it's not because I'm old and I'm unwilling to experiment with new music and new technology. I mean, obviously not, you know. You know, I'm not going to say that that's the best thing anybody's done with Suno. Some people are doing some incredible stuff with it, but, you know, I thought it actually compared reasonably favorably to the song that's the number one rated song on there, you know. Of course, you have a bit of an advantage if you have actually produced music and written lyrics before. But anyhow, so let's go ahead and fire up this one just because I don't necessarily have a whole lot to say. So this one is a Booster Patrol song in development, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's a little darker, which is a bit ironic. It's a little darker than Seas of Blood, but you know, it's but it is. See if I can remember where I put anything. Let's see here. Okay, probably in music, huh? I think I even have a Rachel directory. There we go. Okay.
How can I be lonely with the devil in my ear? Since he's got the only voice I'm ever gonna hear. How can I be losing with the devil at my side? We're just out and cruising on a midnight ride. Ride and die with the devil, ride and die till the end. Don't ask me why. Close your eyes, ride, 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 ride and die. How can I be crashing with the devil going mad? I see the lightning flashing and the world breaking bad. Ride and die with the devil, ride and die till the end. Don't ask me why. Close your eyes, ride, 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 ride and die. How can I be winning when the devil leads away? He's just drinking and singing, there ain't nothing left to say. Ride and die with the devil, ride and die till the end. Don't ask me why. Close your eyes, ride, 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 ride and die. I wouldn't mind a savior, but I don't see one around. The devil ain't a friend, and yet he never lets you down. Ride and die with the devil, ride and die till the end. Don't ask me why. Close Close your eyes, ride, 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 ride and die with the devil, ride and die till the end. Don't ask me why. Close your eyes, ride, 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 ride and die. Ride and die with the devil, ride and die till the end. Don't ask me why. Close your eyes, ride, 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 ride and die.
Yeah, it doesn't always know how to end it. For some reason, the 3.0 version ended things a lot better than the 3.5 version. Just tends to like go on and on and on. Silent Draco and Ironic Keyboard liked it. Nice and pretty dark. Yeah, you know, some people when they are, you know, I won't use the word down because I never get down, but you know, Space Bunny calls it brooding. Apparently, that's what it's called when you are reflecting and you forget to turn the lights on. But anyhow, when I get contemplative, let's say, I tend to like to write lyrics more than I like to write or write fiction or nonfiction or any of that sort of thing. And so, well, hey, we got a princess. So she's like, I'm out of here. But I just find it, I don't know, whatever. I find it both relaxing and it kind of gets me out of whatever mood. And so Soundtrack says you need some distance or solitude. Yeah, but sometimes it's not always dark like that. I mean, that was something that I was actually intentionally writing for Rachel. I wanted something that would work for her, rock chick voice. A lot of people don't really grasp that there's no such thing as there's good voices and there's bad voices. And there's different voices that are suitable for different things. There's songs that I've tried to do and I can't, it just doesn't sound good, And then there's songs where, like for example, More Human Than Human, it sounds much better than I ever would imagined, And West by God Bear says the song is a good fit for her voice. That's not her voice, West by God Bear. That's the AI voice. It's going to sound a lot better when you hear the real guitars and her real voice. I pretty much guarantee that. I don't know. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm pretty confident of that. Do you observe any voice training protocols? No, none. But here, I'll give you another example. This one is really going to be hard to find the right person to sing it. I really like this song a lot. I want to do more with it. But I'm not sure, how that's going to work. This one's called Siddhartha.
The journey ends. Sojourner's choice. Siddhartha hears the river's voice. The wheel turns. The Siddhartha sits, the silence grows. Flow, river, speak, water, flow, river, speak, water, whisper secrets to Siddhartha. Cross the river landing, Siddhartha waits for understanding. The forest calls, the seasons pass, Siddhartha finds his place at last. Flow, river, speak, water, flow, river, speak, water, whisper secrets to Siddhartha. Flow, river, speak, water, flow, river, speak, water, whisper secrets to Siddhartha. To Siddhartha.
Yeah, so that one's not done yet. Needs an instrumental and then maybe a verse and a close. It just wasn't working with 3.5, so hopefully quadruple tracked loads of the weekend level effects. Well, yeah, definitely, but you still need the voice, the voice to sound right. Elizabeth's might work. Yeah, if you have an alto and a mezzo, then but we'll see. We'll just have to find. And the other thing is that I could also switch it to I could switch it to my voice and do it as like a David Sylvian style song. It'd be a good song, but I think it's better with a female voice. So anyhow, but that's what makes this it's fun. That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it a challenging hobby. And of course, it's nice when you can hand over the real work to guys like John and Paul and Ender. So anyhow, well, thanks for tuning in. Be interesting to see if there's any follow-up attacks because when you have these one of the purposes of these hit pieces is it's the media telling people where to go at it. They're telling other lesser media figures where to go after. Nebulous wants to be a Sigma now. Grayman has a question. Hey Vox, do you use a locally installed image generator? No. Or are you just really good at prompts? Yes, I'm very good at prompts. I mean, for the image generation, you just have to know what you want the image to be to communicate, and he says the images on the site are 10 of 10. The past year, everyone loves them. Well, good. I'm glad. I just wish that they would get to the point of doing proper persistent characters and let you do higher resolution at some point in time. But we'll get there. It'll get there soon enough. The music is improving faster than I ever thought. In fact, they just added, I think yesterday, the ability to load up to 60 seconds and then use that as a base. So to use that as a foundation. So I'm gonna do some experimenting with that and see if we can see if we can do some interesting things with that. So on that note, I wish you all a good evening. I'm Vox Day, and this is the Darkstream.